Hi there. Thanks for joining. Hope you're all doing really well. Today, I wanted to take some time to share some job interview tips and mental from the mental standpoint, how to prepare yourself mentally for job interviews. So, sort of just some tips and some learning experiences I've had in the past as well. So hopefully it can benefit you. I was supposed to go live last weekend. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to, so I'm taking the time today to sort of do that and share some experiences with you. Um, Today I will be touching on points regarding, um, benefits that could help you, with the ability to learn, with the ability to make your intention before you actually apply for a job, with your confidence. And I'm going to be touching on some of those points also. If you know anyone that is interested and in applying for jobs, probably this could help them as well. Okay, so yeah, so here we go. The first thing I want to talk about is the intention. Okay, so applying with the intention that this is going to be a company that you would be proud to work for. So sort of mentally preparing yourself and um, talking to yourself and walking yourself through the fact that these that you're going to be applying for a job that you want to be proud of. You want to be able to say that yes, you did work at so and so company, and you did learn so and so at that company, right? So at the end of the day, it's really important to make that intention first and sort of go for it from there. Okay. um, Lots of times you don't know what sort of job you want to apply for, and it gets confusing as you look at through hundreds and hundreds of jobs. There are people that literally they apply to thousands of job a month, okay, thousands of roles per month. And so obviously it's something that you can't take lightly. You can't just apply because you're looking for a job. It's important to understand where you want to take your career in the future as well, right? And so making that intention to apply to the right company. And what do I mean by right company? Obviously, everybody has a different expectation for what company is best for them. So look at the job description, look at the requirements, look at the benefits that are being provided to you by that company, and take note of it. Look at also some of those skills, technical skills that you feel that you could brush up on. Okay, that's super important as well. And so um, writing all of this down is super helpful. Taking note of it somewhere, because you're going to notice a pattern as you go through job descriptions. You're going to notice that there is going to be some consistencies in terms of the technical knowledge required, and also um, in terms of the technical knowledge, and as well as in terms of your what is expected of you. Okay, and so as a person as well, right? And whether or not you're a team player, etc. So writing all of that down is super important, and then going and applying to that job. Okay, so the next is background research. And so what do I mean by this? Background research on the company itself. So look into what work they've done, look into the products and services that they're selling. Look at what would be expected of you if you were to join that company. Would there be some benefit to you in terms of learning experiences? Would there be anything that you could benefit from if you were to work and become a part of that team? So doing that background research is super important. Okay, and then as part of your intention, to coming back to my first point, is that whether or not that is something that you can be comfortable enough and be proud of, and say that, hey, you know what, I have the ability to apply to this company. I have the right skill set. Okay, and so now it's just a matter of going and applying to it. Okay, and so that's where the background research comes in, because you want to be sure that this is a company that once you add to your resume. And by the way, if you're just joining this live stream now, then basically what I'm talking about today is how to prepare yourself for job interviews from a mental standpoint. Okay, and from a mindset, what sort of mindset you should be having. And I'll also share some experiences as well, as far as when I've gone into interviews, and what what sort of things I've learned, maybe some conversations I've had as well. So hopefully this can benefit you too. And so that my third point I want to talk about then is the fact that you have to be honest, okay? And so at the job interview, when you're actually on that phone call or in that room, having that interview, having that conversation with the person responsible for learning more about you, you want to be 100% sure that, hey, you know what, if I'm going to apply to this job, I want to be as good as I can. I want to perform to the best of my abilities, right? So be honest about what you know and what you don't know, okay? And so I've been in several interviews, and I've seen, before going into that interview, I've seen what sort of expectations they have. But there's no harm. There's absolutely no harm. Even if you don't have all of the knowledge, most of the time what happens is that companies, when they post job listings, when they post requirements, they don't fully understand the role themselves, because it's not the person who is in that role posting that description. It's actually somebody else in the human resources department, etc., that would be in charge of having the conversation with who's already working there and figuring out what is required for if so and so person were to join the company. So a lot of the times, don't rely 100% on what you read, okay, on, like, for example, Indeed or on LinkedIn, for certain job descriptions. And wherever you are in the world, there's thousands of websites where you can apply to jobs. And so at the end of the day, what you want to do is you want to do your due diligence and look at the role, okay? Look at what the title of the role is, look at what their expectations are. And as far as technical knowledge and technical skills are required, it's up to you to seek that knowledge. It's up to you to learn, okay? And so as a human being, you're responsible to learn and increase your knowledge. And so the only way you're going to be able to do that is if you either go to school or if you learn it on your own. Being self-taught is probably one of the best ways. And obviously being in school is also, highly beneficial. At least being a high school graduate is, absolutely important, I would say, in my opinion. So be honest at that interview, be honest about what you know and what you don't know. A lot of the times you're not going to know, certain programs, but that is okay. If you don't know certain programs, you know others. And so it is absolutely fine to say that you don't know that program, but you're willing to learn, right? You can't just stop at, I don't know this program and I'm sorry, I'm not a good fit, right? That's not going to, because what you're doing is you're decreasing your own confidence then at that point. And then you're also giving that employer confidence in the fact that you don't even know what they're looking for, right? Because like I said, a lot of the times they don't know, they don't understand, the information that they've put as part of the technical requirements. They don't understand that there are alternatives, there are options to certain softwares and to certain programs that will get the same job done, sometimes even in a more efficient manner, right? And so we have to seek knowledge as part of our human responsibility. We have to seek knowledge, right? At the end of the day, your learning can come from various sources. And so at the end of the day, I would say go and learn, look at the job description, look at what they're required, see if there's a consistency in any pattern in terms of the software requirements or in terms of technical knowledge. Look at whether or not there is any consistency. Okay, so every industry is unique, right? So this could be applicable. And so what I'm talking about is basically applicable to any industry. Look at what the technical requirements are. Nowadays, we're pretty much, especially with COVID, we're at home. So we have the ability to spend time and do that research and figure out what is required of us for a different role, okay, or a different company. So we have the time, and there absolutely can't be, we absolutely can't say that we didn't have the time, or we don't have the resources, because we have computers, we have our cell phones. The fact that the fact that you can go on to your cell phone at any time of the day, gives you that access to research. So I would say do that background research, be honest, okay? And finally, my last point before I wrap up over here is confidence. Have the confidence when you're taking the interview. Be confident in what you know and talk about what you know rather than what you don't know, okay? Because as long as you understand what they're looking for, what kind of role they're trying to fulfill, and what sort of responsibility they want you to take on, you can fulfill that. You can actually, you can land a job because you have the confidence, because you have the technical knowledge that you are comfortable with, or because you have the skills that you are confident in, right? And so be confident about yourself when you're at that interview. Don't let the questions that come your way deter you, or get you into a loop or into a pattern of thinking about what you don't know, because that is going to decrease your confidence at the interview. And at the end of the day, you're not going to you're not going to land the job. If you yourself are not confident, they're not going to believe you as well, right? So be absolutely confident. Okay, so that's kind of all I want to talk about today. I hope it was beneficial. And if you know anyone that could appreciate this advice, or if you know anyone that could benefit from this, please share this video with them. One last thing I want to say is that now, because we're home and because we're able to work from home, and we have the time that we normally would spend on driving, or we would normally spend on other, where our time would be spent elsewhere, just go ahead and use that time. Try to dedicate time, schedule out your calendar, schedule out your day. That will greatly help as well. Okay, so that's really it. And so if you have any questions, just go ahead and message me, let me know. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye now.